Hi, I'm Kim Warren. I'm the Director of Aligned Impact Muscatine County, housed at the United Way office. And about the middle of March, myself, the Director of United Way of Muscatine, and the Director of the Community Foundation started talking about how things were changing in the community fast, and the nonprofit and service community really needed to start coming together to address what was happening with COVID-19 in our community and how that was impacting services. So we started having weekly calls the middle of March, and this group is comprised of nonprofits, school districts, and municipalities and utilities for the whole county. And we really started with the goal of making sure that our community was being served and needs were being met. So when we first started meeting, it was very much about who's still open, who's providing virtual services, who's providing services in a different way. Are there any services that are missing now? And what can we do to work together to make sure people are still getting the services they need? Once we kind of got to a good understanding of how everyone's services were adjusting, we then moved more into how can we try and stabilize this crisis. There's about 40 plus organizations that participate on these calls every week. And we found that basic needs was really at the forefront of everyone's mind and what everyone was seeing at first. So there was already a group talking about food. In some of the other videos, you've heard about the great food collaboration between United Way, MCSA, and the Salvation Army. And then because of the people at our weekly calls, their weekly calls grew to include school district staff and people from other communities such as Wilton and West Liberty being connected to help streamline food services better in our community. Another basic needs issue that really came out that we heard from school districts and nonprofits was that people were having a very hard time affording and securing cleaning supplies and hygiene items. As you can imagine, it's very hard for people to slow the spread of a virus, keep their family healthy, and then just meet their basic needs if they can't get cleaning supplies and hygiene items. Salvation Army very kindly offered to host a supply closet at their location. They said they had room. Public Health was working on sourcing supplies for COVID positive families. Early Childhood Iowa was trying to source supplies for childcare facilities. MCSA was trying to secure some supplies for some of their clients. So all of us started working together because it really made no sense for us independently to try and be buying things when all of us could work together, apply to the Community Foundation's Community Continuity Fund, which is amazingly responsive at getting money in the hands of organizations to meet crisis needs so fast. So we were all able to work together to order the supplies, and everyone really knew what their specific populations needed. And the collaboration just continued. United Way has an intern this summer, and so she's working with us to help get products out to people. The school districts are letting us know what their families most in need are needing. We're getting that out to them. So that's just, I think, a really good example of the collaboration that can come out of these weekly meetings where people are working on similar issues, but then they start working together and can really work within systems in place and get what families and households need out to them faster by working together and working better. Now that we feel like we have a lot of the emerging crisis basic needs things met, then we moved on to public information. We know that people who have never needed to apply for services before are going to need to file for unemployment, access food pantries, maybe seek out medical help they haven't needed before. So we worked as a team, and Michelle at the United Way office designed all the marketing material in English and Spanish. The Diversity Services Center, Rosa, helped us translate everything into Spanish. That really just shows if someone needs to access food services or utilities or rent assistance or something, where they can go. There's also a video that has been shared on Facebook a ton in English and Spanish that also outlines that, because we want to make sure people can get the help they need. Then what we've started to move on to now is we know that we have some really good new systems in place, collaborations in place, and people have figured out how to work better and smarter together to really serve the people of Muscatine County. So now we're starting to think a little more long term. What do we need to be doing over the next 30 days, 60 days, 90 days to ensure that these collaborations stay in place, that we can meet the needs of clients, that we can continue to communicate better? And so right now we're breaking up into small groups and working on some projects to make sure that we can sustain and also improve the systems we have in place to serve the people of Muscatine the best that we can.